The fourth generation Hyundai Santa Fe is certainly an car. It has 4 wheels, 4 doors, a full-size spare, USB ports, and swoopy styling. This is most certainly an car. Sometimes a used car tells a story greater than the car or model itself. You may look at this 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe SEL and you may just see another blue crossover that'll get lost in the streets of North Carolina's Piedmont region. It's a modern Hyundai. It may have some funkyish styling, but everything about this car is designed to get lost in the background of traffic of the 2020s. I do not blame you if you don't think this car is interesting at all. But this car itself, this particular Santa Fe, has an incredible story about how the current owner purchased it for $1,000 in late 2024. About 4 years into this car's life. Sure, it needed a transmission, but he's still into it for a fraction of what these cars are currently going for on the used market. The Hyundai Santa Fe is Hyundai's mid-size 2-row crossover. Starting with the 4th generation, it sits between the compact Tucson and the 3rd-row Palisade. The previous generation sat at the top of Hyundai's crossover offerings and was split into a 2-row and 3-row model. But with the new generation, the Palisade replaced the 3rd-row model and sorta would become the halo model for Hyundai's crossovers. The 2-row, known then as the Santa Fe Sport, would carry on as the Santa Fe itself for this new generation, which is what you see here today. Fun fact to get even more confusing, the old 3rd-row Santa Fe would actually be renamed the Santa Fe XL for a couple of years when the 4th generation launched. Yeah, muddying the waters even more. Under the hood in the United States, you had the choice of 2 engines. Lower trim models, such as this SEL, got the naturally aspirated 2.4-liter Theta 2 GDI i4. Higher level models would get a spicy turbo in the 2-liter Theta 2 T GDI Turbo 4. There were plans to bring a diesel to the United States, but I'm fairly sure Dieselgate happening a couple years before this model launching in mid-2018 killed those plans swiftly. With the 2021 refresh, the old 2.4 would get replaced with a 2.5-liter SmartStream G2.5 GDI engine. If that engine bay looks quite large, that's because in other markets like Australia, the Lambda V6 was available. I'm sure the choice to withhold that engine from the American Santa Fe was to help elevate the Palisade as the true range topper in the lineup. This generation also introduced a hybrid and plug-in hybrid model for the first time too. Behind the 2.4 in the Santa Fe is an 8-speed automatic, which is kind of surprising since CVTs are all the rage for this class of an car. I fully expected to have a CVT like a Nissan, but no, actual 8-speed transaxle here. Inside, it's a consumer-grade mid-size crossover. It's okay. It has a decent-sized screen that isn't overly large, Apple CarPlay, a giant center console, adaptive cruise control, parking sensors, start-stop, and a nice cargo cover for the back. You also get these nice big storage cubbies under the cargo area. It's not a bad experience in here at all. With over 209,000 miles, everything still feels buttoned up. Sure, there's some wear and tear, especially on the driver's door panel, but things in here still relatively feels dang near new. People will complain about materials not being premium, but they're not bad at all. The hard plastics aren't excessive. You aren't excessive, spend some time in a work van like a Metris or Transit Connect like I do working for the post office. And also, I come from GM, so this isn't bad. Kinda surprising there wasn't any USB-C ports in here, just standard USB-A. You do get 2 in the front and 2 in the rear, so that's something I guess. Legroom front and rear is good though, which is something a tall guy like me at 6'3" does enjoy. On the road, it's certainly an car. Yeah, this thing is completely forgettable. This is certainly an and car to end all and cars. Sure, the 2.4 is peppy off the line, but it's also not particularly quick. I was pretty harsh on this engine in the Santa Fe Sport, but honestly, I don't feel that offended by it at all in this model. I don't know, maybe it's spending the past year in my Transit Connect mail van, because, ooh, that thing is slow. It has a slight power bump over the Sport, 185 versus 174. So, also, it may be those 11 ponies are really the difference maker for me. I don't know. Steering is okay. Typical Hyundai overboosted power steering, but I've experienced worse. One thing that really got me was the pedals. They felt mushy. Just felt overly springy, but in the wrong way. Like I was stepping on a half-deflated kickball at times, or a bad set of racing pedals for a video game. It just felt bad for a real-life car. It drives and stops fine, but these pedals felt like I was stepping in mush. It didn't feel like air in the brake lines either, because that's a completely unique brake feel, and you would feel the pedal move under your foot when it's supposed to be at the fully depressed position at a stop. But no, this is just like a bad feel in switchgear. Like I mentioned, like a bad set of pedals you buy for your first iRacing setup. But hey, it has an automatic transmission, so it doesn't drive like a CVT at all. Overall, the driving experience is fine for a consumer-grade crossover that's just going to rack up miles. And now that we've gotten the rundown out of the way, what is the deal with this car's $1,000 price tag? How in the hell did the owner, Jack, get such a good deal on a less than 5-year-old midsize crossover? Well, it's because it was a fleet vehicle for his stepdad's job. His stepdad works as an audiology technician, and this Santa Fe was his mobile workshop for him to travel to different locations to check on people's hearing, be it schools, military bases, prisons, etc. And being an ex-Air Force mechanic, he was also meticulous and kept his car in immaculate condition despite the miles. Really, the only wear and tear he put on this car were the scuff marks on the rear hatch from his Pelican cases rubbing against it, and the wear from his arm resting on the driver's side door for 209,000 miles. His stepdad is a man of routine, and you can see that routine with how this car was worn in. Eventually, the 8-speed automatic transmission pooped the bed, and looking at the $3,200 repair bill, the company would replace the Santa Fe with another and car. Upon hearing this on a night out and after a few drinks, Jack offered his stepdad's boss $1,000 as kind of a joke, who surprisingly said, "Sure, the car is yours for that price." After paying for the car and to get the transmission replaced, Jack entered this 2020 Santa Fe for a little over $4,200, which is a fraction of what these cars are going for used right now. Even if he tried flipping this Santa Fe for twice for what he's in it for, it would still be on sale for way less than the highest mileage 2020 Santa Fe's I'm seeing online for. For example, the highest mileage one I found on Cars.com at 188,000 miles was on sale for $14,500, and it's probably not nearly as clean as this one. And with getting such a good deal, Jack had fully intended on flipping this Santa Fe. Like many car guys, he has a proud collection of enthusiast and weird cars. And he didn't need or want an anonymous mom crossover. Here's the thing, while Dalian and E93 M3 is cool, it's also a lot of work. And upon driving this anonymous blob to and from work for a bit, he got why cars like these are perfectly fine appliances. It made way more sense that he should be putting miles on this as a disposable and car, and to keep the BMW for nice days and drives. Some days you just need CarPlay, smooth ride, AC, and the peace of mind that if Haley spelled with an EIGH who's busy FaceTiming and sucking down her Starbucks merges without looking, he won't feel bad about his special car being hit, because he's in his disposable Santa Fe, whose parts are cheap and the cost of ownership is even cheaper. He understands now why I bought a rental spec Chevy Malibu in May of 2020. That car's seen everything from being a shelter in a supercell thunderstorm and to hitting a flying folding table on I-85. And I don't feel bad about it. It's a perfectly fine and car for me. And if anything bad happens to it, I can easily replace it. I know I don't have any special cars since downsizing and getting married and having a kid. But after sitting in my beat-up mail van all day, the Malibu feels nice for my 20-minute drive home. The 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe may not be the perfect midsize crossover, but it's still a solid one at that. As with all Hyundais and Kias pre-2024, make sure it's had the major security update done on it. You don't need to be another victim of the Kia boys. Also, with this being a 2020 and technically past the whole Theta engine debacle that plagued the 2010s due to problems with the mechanical deburn process of the crankshaft that led to oil contamination and eventual failures, I'm still really hesitant about trusting the Hyundai Theta 4-cylinder. Now, this one has gone 209,000 miles problem-free, and it was the transmission that went first in it. But for me, that bad history of the Theta engine does sit back in my mind. All being said, this is a fine car. The Theta engine crisis of the 2010s do seem to be a thing of the past. If you're a Hyundai Kia tech and think otherwise, feel free to yell at me in the comments. And it's had the security update. Please, folks, make sure that's done when buying one of these cars. Those two things aside, the 4th generation Hyundai Santa Fe is a perfectly fine and crossover. It's a blob in a sea of blobs. They have shaken things up with the hip-to-be-square 5th generation, but if you'd rather blend in with traffic, the 2020 Santa Fe may be the midsize crossover for you. 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe SEL. It's okay. Drive the egg and forget your woes. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you once again for watching another episode of Wookie Drives. Once again, huge shout out to Jack of Cary, North Carolina for letting me drive his latest interesting car in his fleet of interesting cars. Jack's been a great internet car friend for the past several years, and honestly, kind of surprised it's been almost 3 years since I've last driven one of his cars, so always great to have one of Jack's cars on the show. If you have a car or truck you like to see on the show and happen to be in the Charlotte or Mooresville, North Carolina area, email me a submission of your car at wookiedrives@gmail.com. That's right, wookiedrives@gmail.com. That's wookiedrives@gmail.com. Don't forget to give the video a like, drop a comment with some feedback. Any sort of interaction with this video really helps small channels like mine grow in the algorithm. Share it with all your Hyundai Santa Fe friends. And finally, don't forget to hit that bell for notifications and subscribe for more Wookie Drives like these. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.
Call them reckless? Call them crazy. But what do you call them if you can't see them? The class exclusive blind spot view monitor available on the Hyundai Santa Fe can help you see them wherever they come from. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like.
At Sid Dillon Hyundai in Lincoln, save up to $7,000 off 2020 Santa Fe's or lease for $399 a month. Visit SidDillonHyundai.com.